You notice it before you understand it. The food bowl is still full. It was full yesterday too. The cat that has shadowed you for years, that appeared the second you opened the fridge, that slept on your chest at 3 a.m., is suddenly nowhere. You check the usual spots, the windowsill, the warm laundry, the foot of the bed, empty, and then you find it, pushed into the very back of a closet, behind boxes, in the dark. Somewhere it has never chosen to sleep. It does not come when you call. It does not want to be found. This is one of the most common things cat owners witness near the end, and almost no one can explain why it happens. Why does an animal that spent its whole life beside you choose at the very end to disappear? The answer is older than your cat. Older, in fact, than the entire idea of a cat living in a home at all. To understand it, you have to understand something about your cat you have probably never seen. You think of your cat as the one in charge. In your home, it is. It decides where to sleep, when to eat, whether to acknowledge you at all. It walks across your keyboard like it owns the building, and in the small world of your living room, it does. But your cat did not evolve in your living room. It evolved in a world where it was rarely the largest thing around. Your cat is a predator. You have watched it hunt, the frozen stare, the silent crouch, the flick of the tail before the pounce. Everything about it is built to kill, but the domestic cat is also small. Smaller than the dogs, the foxes, the coyotes, the birds of prey that have hunted cats and their ancestors for millions of years. Your cat carries the body of a hunter and the survival instincts of something hunted. Both of those programs are running inside it at all times. Most of the time, you only see one of them, the confident one, the predator. But the other one is always there, waiting. And nothing brings it to the surface faster than weakness. Here is the rule that governs almost everything a vulnerable animal does. In the wild, weakness is information. A limp, a cough, a slowed step. These are signals, and every predator in the area is reading them. A healthy animal is a difficult, dangerous target. A sick or injured one is an easy meal. So for any animal that can be hunted, showing weakness is one of the most dangerous things it can do, which means evolution built a powerful counter-instinct. Hide the weakness. Hide yourself. And your cat is a master of this. You have probably seen it without realizing what you were looking at. A cat in pain often shows almost nothing. No whimpering, no obvious limping until the injury is severe, no crying out the way a dog might. This is not because your cat feels less. It is because, deep in its wiring, revealing pain means inviting death, so it masks it completely. A cat can be seriously ill for a long time before you see a single clear sign. By the time you notice, the illness is often advanced. This is one of the hardest things about caring for a cat. The same instinct that kept its ancestors alive makes it incredibly good at hiding exactly when it needs help most. Now take that instinct, the lifelong drive to conceal any weakness, and push it to its absolute limit, to the point where the cat's body is failing, where the weakness can no longer be masked by behavior alone. The pain is too great, the energy is too low, the body is shutting down. The cat can no longer perform the illusion of strength, so it falls back on the only option left, removing itself from view entirely. If you cannot appear strong, you disappear. And this is where another piece of your cat's nature comes in, something that makes it different from a dog. Dogs are pack animals. Their ancestors survived through the group. A sick wolf might stay near the pack, near its bonds, even at the end. But your cat did not evolve in a pack. The ancestors of the domestic cat were solitary hunters. They lived alone. They hunted alone. They survived alone. Their safety never came from a group. It came from not being seen. So when a cat feels its body failing, it does not seek the comfort of others the way a pack animal might. Its instincts pull it in the opposite direction, toward isolation, toward concealment, toward a small, defensible, hidden space. The closet, the space under the house, the back of the cupboard, somewhere dark, somewhere enclosed, somewhere no predator could approach unseen. This is why the hiding can feel so personal to you. It can feel like rejection, like the animal you loved is choosing to be alone instead of with you. But it is not choosing against you. It is following an instinct that was set in place long before humans and cats ever met. There is a physical dimension to this too. A dying body is a vulnerable body in very specific ways. Temperature regulation begins to fail. A sick or aging cat often feels cold and seeks out small enclosed spaces that hold warmth and block drafts. Sensory sensitivity changes. Light, sound, and movement can become overwhelming to a failing nervous system. A dark, quiet, enclosed space reduces all of that. It is, in a real sense, the most comfortable place a declining body can be. So when your cat presses itself into the back of a closet, it is not only hiding from imagined predators, it is finding the one place where its failing body feels least exposed, least cold, and least overwhelmed. Instinct and physical comfort are pointing in exactly the same direction, away, inward, out of sight. Now, here is where you need some honesty, because there is a comforting story people tell about this, and it is not quite true. The story goes like this. The cat knows it is dying. It loves you, so it goes away to spare you the pain of watching. It is a beautiful idea, and it is almost certainly not what is happening. There is no strong evidence that a cat understands its own death the way a human does, as a future event it is choosing to face in a particular way. And there is no evidence that the hiding is an act of consideration for your feelings. The instinct is far older and far simpler than that. It is not about you at all, which can sound cold, but try to see it the other way. The hiding is not a rejection of your bond. It is simply running on a track that was laid down millions of years before your bond ever existed. Your cat is not leaving you. It is answering something much, much older than you. And the evidence for this is in the details of the behavior itself. A cat hiding to die is not seeking a meaningful place. It is not going to the spot where it was happiest. It is not curling up in your bed for one last night. It is seeking the most defensible, most concealed space available. That choice is about safety, not sentiment. It is the choice of an animal following survival logic, not an animal saying goodbye. But here is where it gets more complicated and more interesting, because not every cat hides. Veterinarians who work in end-of-life care report a real range of behavior. Some cats withdraw and conceal themselves exactly as we have described. But others do the opposite. Some cats, in their final days, become unusually affectionate. They seek out their humans more, not less. They want contact, warmth, closeness. The solitary instinct does not override everything in every cat. Generations of living alongside humans have changed the domestic cat in real ways. For some cats, the bond with you may genuinely pull against the ancient instinct to hide, so you cannot say every dying cat wants to be alone. What you can say is that the pull toward hiding is real, it is ancient, and when you see it, it is not a sign that your cat stopped loving you. It is a sign that, in its most vulnerable moment, a program older than its love for you took the controls. Think about what that actually means for a second. Your cat spent years choosing you, choosing your lap, your warmth, the sound of your voice. None of that was instinct. A solitary predator is not wired to love a human. It learned to. It chose to. Across thousands of small moments with you. And the hiding at the end does not erase any of that. It just means that underneath everything your cat learned to feel for you, there was always an older animal. One that remembers, in its body if not its mind, a world where being seen while weak meant being killed. So if you have lived through this, if you have found a cat pressed into a dark corner at the end and wondered if you did something wrong, if it was angry with you, or scared of you, or rejecting you, here is what you can finally let go of. It was none of those things. You did not fail it. It was not pushing you away. It was doing the one thing every vulnerable animal in its lineage has done for millions of years, finding a safe place to be unseen. And if your cat was one of the ones that came closer instead, that sought you out at the very end, understand how remarkable that is too. That cat's bond with you was strong enough to push back against one of the oldest instincts in its body. Either way, the love was real. The hiding was never evidence against it. So the next time you hear someone say a cat went away to die, you will know the fuller truth. It did not go away to die. It went away to feel safe. The dying was happening regardless. The hiding was its oldest instinct trying, one last time, to to protect a body it had protected its entire life. There is something almost unbearably gentle in that when you understand it. An animal, at the very end, still doing the one thing its body always knew how to do, still trying to survive in the only way it had ever known. Your cat carried two animals inside it for its whole life. The confident predator you lived with every day, and the careful, watchful prey you almost never saw. For years, the predator was the one you knew, the one on the windowsill, the one in the sun, the one on your chest at night. The prey stayed hidden, the way it was always meant to, and only at the very end, when the body could no longer hold up the illusion, did the other animal finally step forward. Not to leave you, not to punish you, just to do what it had always, secretly, known how to do. Disappear, so that it might survive, even when survival was no longer possible. That instinct does not know how to stop. It does not know that this time is different. It only knows the oldest rule its kind has ever followed. When you are weak, do not be seen. And so your cat, loving you to the end in its own way, simply went quiet, went dark, went where the watchful animal inside it had always felt safest. So picture that full food bowl again. From the very beginning, the empty windowsill, the silence where your cat used to be. It was never a sign that you were left behind. It means nothing you did or didn't do caused it. It means the bond you had was real, right up until the moment an older animal quietly took over. Your cat did not leave you when it hid. It simply returned for the last time to the oldest instinct it ever had, the one that kept its kind alive long enough to one day find its way to you and to that full bowl you will never stop seeing.